As I was on the verge of returning the box to the closet, the words resonated in my mind once more, only this time it was my teacher's voice that I heard. "I know what you did." A wave of suspicion washed over me, and in that moment, the only logical explanation I could come up with was that my teacher had caught me red-handed and was aware of my theft. At this point, I had to face the reality of my actions. I was stealing. It was no longer something I could downplay as just borrowing to make it seem less severe. The undeniable truth was that I was engaged in theft. Both my teacher and I were fully aware of this, and it seemed like she wanted confirmation of her suspicions. However, this realization did not mean I was ready to give up and let her unveil my secret. I wasn't a criminal or a thief in my eyes. I was merely seeking a thrill out of boredom, a desperate attempt to inject some excitement into my life. The following day, I continued as if nothing had occurred, feigning innocence regarding the stolen pen and behaving as I normally would. Yet, the thrill that once fueled my actions was absent. For the first time since the candy bar incident, I returned home and steered clear of the box, leaving it unopened. Rather than fixating on my pilfered items, my thoughts were occupied by the potential reactions of my dad and friends if they discovered my illicit activities. What would their perspectives of me be? Assuming I still had any friends left after everything unfolded, my anxiety only grew when, during math class, the teacher I had stolen from locked her gaze on me, her eyes seeming to demand a public confession. I was swamped with guilt and quite certain that my teacher had unraveled my secret, only to realize she was actually bothered by the incessant tapping of my pencil against the wooden desk, a noise that proved to be distracting and irritating for everyone around. On the third day following the pen incident, I resolved to seek advice online, opting for a platform that ensures anonymity for teenagers dealing with various issues. The consensus on the website was clear: sharing your problem, even anonymously, can significantly diminish its magnitude and make it seem more manageable. With this reassurance, I decided to disclose my situation, ensuring my identity remained hidden. I meticulously detailed my entire ordeal and then awaited a response, the hours stretching on endlessly until someone finally addressed my post. The commenter suggested that I might be dealing with kleptomania. Initially, the term was foreign to me, prompting a quick internet search to grasp its meaning. Kleptomania, it turned out, is a psychological disorder characterized by an irresistible urge to steal items, irrespective of their value, driven by a quest for momentary satisfaction or as a means to alleviate boredom. I delved into numerous articles featuring documented cases of individuals battling this disorder, some of whom had faced incarceration. The anonymous commenter concluded their message by urging me to either dispose of the stolen goods or ensure their return to their rightful owners, cautioning that failing to do so could escalate my situation into a full-blown addiction. Upon encountering the term addiction, my worry heightened, prompting me to take serious measures to address the issue at hand. I resolved to return the items I had stolen to their rightful owners. This proved to be a daunting task, as returning items is substantially more challenging than stealing them. I had even lost track of the original owners of some items. Nonetheless, I persevered and succeeded in discreetly returning most of the stolen goods. All that remained was the golden pen with the cryptic message inside its cap. My conscience was at its limit. I felt compelled to return the pen to my teacher, even if it meant admitting my guilt. However, I was perplexed as to how I could access the teacher's lounge without arousing suspicion or being detected. I felt as if she was constantly observing me, trailing me in the school hallways, and maintaining her gaze on me during class and even in the cafeteria. I braced myself for the moment she would confront me in front of everyone. The pressure was insurmountable, and I knew I needed to take control of the situation. I had to summon courage and outwit my teacher. I decided to confess before she had the chance to expose me. One day, I waited patiently near her car in the schoolyard until she appeared. She offered a greeting, and I seized the opportunity, stating that I needed to discuss something important with her. My heart heavy with guilt, I produced the pen from my pocket and extended it towards her, saying, "I believe this belongs to you." I found it in class and held onto it, intending to return it when the time was right. Although I was relieved to return the pen, I couldn't help but feel remorseful for not telling her the whole truth. I was still too frightened to come clean. I was at a loss for words and couldn't bring myself to admit that I had stolen her pen, overwhelmed by feelings of remorse. She responded with a warm smile, graciously telling me that I was welcome to keep the pen as it wasn't anything special. I attempted to protest, pointing out that it appeared to be quite valuable. How could it not be special? I questioned. She took the pen back, examined it closely in her hand, and then began to clarify the situation. You see, Levi, these engravings on the pen are just painted on. They're not actually made of gold. It's really just a regular pen, nothing out of the ordinary, she explained. Unable to contain my curiosity, I interjected, but what about the message inside? The paper that said, "I know what you have done." What does that mean? At first, she seemed puzzled, unsure of what I was referring to. I went on to describe the hidden message I had found. With a gentle smile, she finally understood and shared, "Oh, that's from a game I play with my friends called the Inspector and the Gang Leader. We got together not too long ago, and during that game, I was assigned the role of the Inspector. I managed to solve all the puzzles and ultimately caught the gang leader. According to the game's guidelines, if I ever grew suspicious of someone being the gang leader, my cue was to confront them, saying, 'I know what you did.' That's how I secured my victory. The pen was merely a token, a memento of my triumph in the game. It wasn't anything significant." She wrapped up her story with a smile, handed the pen back to me, got in her car, and drove away. I was left standing there, golden pen in hand, suddenly aware of how irrational and misled I had been the entire time. I mockingly repeated her words to myself, "I know what you did, gang leader. I caught you." The realization hit me. I had been both the gang leader and the inspector in my own twisted version of the game. I was immensely grateful for this moment of clarity that saved me from potential public humiliation. So that's my tale. Have any of you ever successfully broken a bad habit? Feel free to share your experiences with us.